Hello and a very warm welcome to the late-breaking F1 podcast presented by Harry Eade, Sam Sage and me, Ben Hocking. Back-to-back races, so we're back with another preview. It's Monaco Grand Prix time, which means it's probably Sam Rage season. Sam, for anyone who's new to the podcast, what are your thoughts on the Monaco Grand Prix again?
Oh my God, it's such a ball fest, isn't it? Qualifying is unreal. Let's just give points for qualifying. Saturday, let's just all go home. No worry about the Sunday. It's such a waste of everyone's Sunday. I mean, actually, I say this, last year was actually really good. And it was kind of like the one bumper year at Monaco where we all enjoy ourselves. But bloody hell, usually it's a snooze fest.
And on the other end of the spectrum?
I love Monaco. Don't care. All of you haters, get the bin. Monaco's excellent, and only for Saturday. I don't care. It's worth it for Saturday, so I'd go away.
Thank you, Harry. Eloquently put, as always. We've got an absolutely stacked show for you folks today. Thank you very much, as always, for taking time out of your day to listen to us. We've got news on Andretti. Pat Simmons, formerly Chief Technical Officer at Formula One. Andretti have decided, come work for us. And that's going to happen very soon. Under pressure. Who's under pressure for this Monaco weekend? Alex Albon has signed a multi-year contract extension at Williams. Our thoughts on that coming up. But to start us off, the Monaco race. Last couple of Grand Prix, been fairly close affairs. So Lando Norris, of course, winning the Miami Grand Prix and then being just 1 second away from victory at Imola last time out. Ferrari, of course, lurking in the shadows as well. So you've got three teams there showing a good amount of competitiveness. Sam, can you see a three-team battle for the win?
Well, I can on paper, but races aren't run on paper, nor are they won on paper. That's literally not how it works. The issue again is it's Monaco. The cars could be nose to tail for the entire Grand Prix because they're that close to each other. They're that competitive. But the issue being here, of course, is can't make any bloody overtakes around Monaco, can you? Cars are too big. Track's too skinny. Can't do anything with those two combinations. So whilst I think that Red Bull are going to be back to their usual strong self, I think McLaren are looking really positive, really potent, and I would not be surprised to see the car come alive at Monaco a little bit here. And Ferrari, whilst the upgrades didn't seem to supply too much of a massive step forward, I feel like Monaco is a much more smaller, fine margin type track where, the driver can make the difference. And that's part of the reason why we do love Monaco. It does get the love it deserves because on a Saturday in qualifying, the raw fear of Monaco, the adrenaline that it provides, it is exhilarating. And I can't wait for qualifying. It's incredibly exciting. I do think it's going to be a make or break moment. I do think we might have one of the best qualifying moments of the year. It's always spectacular, but I think those teams being so close means that we could be seeing the finest of margins up front. And that could be the race made or broken from that very moment. But yeah, I think I don't say put all your money on Max Verstappen right now. If I was a betting man, which I'm not for anyone that's interested, because I have the worst luck with these things, if you've not noticed. I would say that Max Verstappen is not a sure thing to win this one. It's not going to be as easy as it has been in previous years. So Charles Leclerc never had a podium here, of course. It's home Grand Prix. Lando Norris would, I'm sure, absolutely love to win it. And I bet Oscar Piastri is looking for finally a nice clean race with some upgrades. So it could go anyone's direction. I really think it is that close.
Harry, can you see there being three teams in this fight?
Yeah, and I think more so than you would at any other track, because it's another part of what makes Monaco special is it's more down to the driver than it is at any other race of the season. So yeah, I easily think you could see, and I know it's going to be mainly decided in qualifying, but there could be nose to tail for the entirety of the race, and that in my book counts as a battle. So yeah, I think this could well be a three-way fight, and like you said, Sam, it's not going to be easy for Verstappen. Last year, he really had to work for that pole position against Alonso and Ocon. Remember that?
What's the surprise at Fernando Alonso?
Yeah, sure. But yeah, he really had to work for that. Obviously, the Sector 3 he did was memorable, very memorable. So, yeah, I think it could be in for the same sort of thing here this weekend. I think if Verstappen's going to win it, it's not going to be an easy one for him. he's going to have tough competition. I mean, you've got the McLarens looking so quick. You've got the Ferraris. Leclerc I know he's not had good luck around Monaco, but he's actually very quick around here. Like, he's very good when he's not crashing. But he is very quick, so don't rule him out. Perez won it in 2022. Lest we forget, Mr. Street Circuit. So there's a lot of players here.
Yeah, I think with those three teams, with Red Bull, as is usually the question, I think it will be, is it going to be one or two Red Bulls in contention? Verstappen, based on Verstappening, I'm sure is going to be in contention because he's very good at the F1. The question is whether Sergio Perez can emulate what he did in 2022, where, as Harry just mentioned, he took the race win, or he emulates something like he did in 2023, where he crashed in Q1 and his weekend was essentially over at that point. So which version of Sergio Perez we get will determine, how many Red Bulls are in the fight. Verstappen, you're right to highlight his excellence in qualifying last year. He's been excellent in qualifying this year as well. That Q3 lap lives in my head.
Sector 3. Sector 3 might be, I would argue it's got a claim to be the best sector performance of all time. If that was an argument that you could have, it's up there.
It came up on Twitter inevitably earlier on, and I forgot going into bear in mind the Sector 3 at Monaco is the second part of the swimming pool. Yeah. Second part of the swimming pool and Raskas and Antonino's corner. That is all.
Yeah.
And he's down by 2/10. He's well down. I completely forgot he was that far down, and to claw that back in basically what is 4 corners is ridiculous.
I mean, based on the competitiveness of McLaren recently and possibly Ferrari, he might need the same thing again. And he's perfectly capable of it, but he might need to pull out another lap like that, because whilst the Grand Prix itself he won with relative ease in the end, I think the margin was something like 20 seconds, it's a little bit misleading because firstly the weather, and secondly, if he hadn't had that wonderful qualifying lap at the end of Q3, that whole weekend could have gone so differently for him. In terms of the other two teams, McLaren and Ferrari, I think they have a shot, certainly. Both of the upgrades that they've recently brought have been focused on low-speed corners, and with good reason. Imola, we've just come from a circuit where low-speed corners are highly important. Monaco, even more so. So both of their sets of upgrades have been targeted with this in mind. I still think they're a little bit behind Red Bull in that regard, which is why I'd put them as the favourites. But certainly, if Ferrari's upgrades are working a little bit better than Imola showed in the Grand Prix, and if McLaren carry on their form from the last 2 races, this could be, you could have 5 or 6 cars in contention for pole, which, as you've both identified, essentially means you've got 5 or 6 cars in contention to win the race. It'd be thrilling to watch, I'm sure. You've both already mentioned Charles Leclerc and how he's never had a podium here. Sam, do you think that will turn around this weekend?
Yeah, it's almost got the opposite of, the famous quote of you're getting a few tenths at your home circuit. Well, he definitely does. The guy is rapid around Monaco. The issue is he can't put together a single lap without putting it in the wall. Even back to his Sauber days, where he flew over the back of, who was it, Daniel Kvyat? Something like that he went straight over the rear wing of, going out of the tunnel into the chicane. I can't remember exactly who it was, but he absolutely...
you might be right.
Yeah, he destroyed the back end, I think, of a Toro Rosso AlphaTauri.
He had a brake failure, no?
Oh, yeah, I'm not saying it was his fault, but the crashes he's had are supreme and spectacular. And, he calls a red flag there multiple times. The luck is not strong with this man at his home Grand Prix. But if the Ferrari is going to start its upgrades, if it's on its way to the front, if the aim is to start building, this would be a real statement of intent. This would be a real declaration to the guys up top. Hey, Ferrari are back. We can win races. We can take the fight to you guys. It's not just McLaren and Red Bull. The Tifosi are here now. This would be the kind of Grand Prix where you can sit there and go, our car really works and our drivers are really working with it. And Leclerc is where their interests are, right? As much as Carlos Sainz has been up and down, more down the last couple of Grand Prix than up, they would want him to do well. Their interests aren't there. Obviously, he's there to support the team, but he's leaving at the end of the season. The car has to suit Leclerc. Their interests are behind Leclerc. And at his home Grand Prix, he needs a result here. I expect him to go and get one. You can only have so much bad luck in one place year after year after year, but the car looks rife for a podium. So fingers crossed for him.
Just to give a bit of a quick rundown of what Charles Leclerc has achieved, or more accurately, what he hasn't achieved at Monaco since arriving at Ferrari in 2019. So 2019, he didn't go out for a second run in Q1 because Ferrari thought he was safe.
Good.
Narrator, he was not safe, and he was out. 2021, we didn't go there in 2020 because of COVID-19. 2021, he got pole, but didn't start the race because of a crash he had at the end of qualifying. 2022, he got pole again, and then Ferrari got out their magician's hat and managed to convert a first into a fourth place.
God.
And then last year, he actually qualified third, but had a three-place grid penalty, which starting sixth at Monaco, there's not too much you can do about that. So, some of it's on him, some of it's on the team. But point being, he has very good pace here, and he just needs to convert it. He's had 34 podiums in his career. And as far as I can tell, the only circuits where he's raced every year since joining Ferrari and not had a podium is here, Hungary, and Spain. So it's not a very long list. It's about time. He hasn't had anything worse than fourth all year. He's been really impressively consistent to this point. Bear in mind that he's second in the championship. Behind him are two drivers that have won a Grand Prix in Sainz and Norris, and Sergio Perez in the Red Bull. His consistency of finishing fourth or better, and that includes the two sprint races as well, has been highly impressive, which gives him a great opportunity to finish on the podium. What do you think, Harry?
Yeah, it's got to happen at some point, hasn't it?
You give it 10 years, we'll be asking the same question.
Yeah, preview for the 2034 Monaco GP. Yeah, and as you say, Ben, he's on pretty terrific form this year. I mean, both Ferrari drivers have been pretty solid this year. Sainz obviously had a dodgy race out in Imola last time, but yeah, if Leclerc drives as well as he has been this year, then he's got to be looking good for a podium. But you're right, it's just converting it, which apparently him nor Ferrari can seem to do around this track. But that curse has got to lift at some point. I believe it. So yeah, if the Ferrari upgrades, they're really hard to tell how they're going to affect the car here because as I said earlier on, it's more about the driver than at any other circuit. So it's, which in a way is good. It's good for Leclerc because it doesn't matter if they're working or not. But yeah, Ferrari certainly had pace. He was quick last time out, clearly, because he came third. So if he repeats that sort of form, he should be expecting a podium. I mean, for Leclerc, he wants to win this, and give him the speed he's shown around this circuit. Obviously, you mentioned 2022 when he had pole and probably should have won had it not been for Ferrari being Ferrari. So yeah, he's probably eyeing up a win, but a podium at the least.
Do you know who has won when they haven't started in the top three?
Who?
Olivier Panis.
Oh, hang on. I just need to get my extension cable out.
Yeah.
There's a plug coming.
Can you plug it into the wall, mate?
Yeah.
Speaking of Olivier Panis, guess what we're doing after this recording, folks? Classic GP review of the 96 Monaco Grand Prix for Patreon users.
And no spoilers whatsoever. Panis starts 14th and does very little.
Yeah, it was absolutely nowhere for a lot of that Grand Prix. So enjoying not paying attention to him for the entire race. But if you're into it, you want to watch some classic races, we're doing one every single month on our Patreon. We're reviewing it much like we do a review for the normal races. It's really good fun. You get to watch an old Grand Prix. If you're new to F1, it's a great way to learn. Get involved. Try it out for the month. You never know. You might absolutely love it.
Sam, how much would that cost your average user?
Mate, how much do you get? Well, let's go for it. Power rankings, classic Grand Prix, beer with braking. You get 2 extra episodes. Absolutely everything is ad free. You get your birthday shout out. You get early access to tickets for live events. How much do you think that is?
Well, that is an extraordinary amount of things to offer there. So I reckon that's probably about £750 per month.
Which
I almost swore then. 750. Come on.
Totally fair to think that, and I can understand why. But actually,
£100 per thing. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. But if you're in the US for a month, it's actually only $12 top tier.
You're joking.
You're joking. No, £9 for a whole month top tier.
That is outrageously cheap.
So
basically, it's for free.
I would argue we're giving you money.
Yeah. Exactly. Gosh, what a deal. You guys are having your pants pulled down. You need to charge more for this quality content.
Yeah, Harry, if you look down now, you'll notice that your pants are on the floor.
Oh, I've got no pants on.
Christ. Okay, we're moving on.
Harry's got a special subscription to Amazon that only he's on that tier, and he pays Jeff Bezos $3,000 a month. It's great.
Everything is so expensive. The man who doesn't understand the value of money
Doesn't everyone do that?
Sure, Harry, yeah.
£3,000 tier. No?
goes into Asda, loaf of bread. £127, please, man who doesn't understand value of money.
Oh, man. There's no transition whatsoever into this next topic, but Sergio Perez, Christian Horner said that his pace at Imola was, quote, an anomaly. Sam, how much does he need to prove Christian Horner right in that regard this weekend?
Well, the anomaly is that he's slow around classic tracks. So, like if you get good at the majority of something, that's not how anomalies work, Christian. History tells us that actually he's not very good when it comes to standard racetracks. Fortunately, he is Mr. Street Circuit, and we're going to watch him work it as he drives around Monaco in a Red Bull.
Oh, whoa.
Now he's cursed you've said that.
Good. I mean, I feel like Christian Horner has tried to be the big man and defend his driver, which I respect. Fine. They're kind of your two biggest commodities are your two drivers, and you've got to back them. And I'm sure Christian publicly does. But this is the first public diss, I would say. I think this is veiled as a diss. By saying it's an anomaly, they are admitting outright that Sergio Perez's pace.
Sergio Pace.
Who's that?
It's his cousin.
The fastest man on the scene. He wasn't good enough around Imola. And if that becomes a regular, if that pace becomes standard, if he keeps finishing outside the top 5, if he's not able to hang it with the big boys up front, your Ferraris, your McLarens, and your Verstappens, he's got to worry. And that seat might be up for grabs. There's rumours going around they've offered him a 1-year extension. He wants a 2-year deal. I don't know if he's really got the ball on his side of the court if he keeps finishing outside the top 5 and he's got second in the championship. In that car, with how Verstappen's performing, podium should be your calling card every single Grand Prix. So I think he should be worried. I think he needs to start performing now rather than later. I'm not sure you could get away with going, oh, it's Monaco. Qualifying has been Perez's greatest downfall. This is where it matters the most. What a time to turn it around if you can.
Yeah, given how close the field is in qualifying at the moment, Harry, how much pressure does that put on Sergio Perez to have a great Saturday to then be able to convert in the Grand Prix itself?
Yeah, because as you say, this is he can't do what I'm not saying what he normally does, but where he has qualified badly, he's had the race day to make up for that mistake. If that happens here, there's just no chance of it. So he needs to have a good weekend. And you're right, Sam. The comment for Christian Horner wasn't like an outright criticism, but it was calling it an anomaly was like saying, "Don't do that again. Don't do that again, Sergio, please." So yeah, he needs to, because Miami wasn't great for him either. He needs this to be a good weekend. He needs to be up there in that fight for the podium. If the Red Bull is good around Monaco, which I guess remains to be seen, but you suspect it will be. He needs to be up there where Verstappen is at the pointy end of the field. So yeah, Saturday is going to be very important for Perez. Last year he crashed out in FE3, right? Did he had a crash in practice towards the end?
He crashed in Q1, didn't he?
Oh, Q1, yeah. I'm so
straight
sorry.
into
Yeah, straight out. Well, don't do that again.
No heroics, please, Sergio.
Sergio Pace.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you've both made the point, which is, yeah, he absolutely has to get Saturday right, because if he doesn't get Saturday right, based on, Imola, he started 11th, managed to get up to 8th. That will realistically be the maximum what he can get out of this Grand Prix as well. If he starts 11th, I would be surprised if he gets any further up than 8th without some DNFs or something unexpected happening in front of him. So difficult to make progress. And that's not a diss on Sergio Perez, by the way. That's just anyone starting out of position at Monaco is always going to struggle to make up that position in the Grand Prix itself. So it is a very important Saturday for him. Okay, we're going to take our first break on this episode. On the other side, we're chatting Alex Albon.
What is going on?
I need to get my notes up. I closed my Word document and I don't
YouTube,
know why.
I'm not going to get this out, folks. This is behind the scenes with late breaking.
Ben, play the technical music.
I would,
He's
but
done it
I
again.
found it.
Oh.
Sorry. Welcome back. So, news that was delivered last week. Alex Albon has signed a multi-year contract extension at Williams, taking him until at least 2026 with the team, although some suggestions that it might be 2027. Upon the news breaking, Alex Albon had the following to say. It has been a difficult start to the year, but since joining Williams, we have made significant progress together, and I have seen the huge changes happening behind the scenes to take us back to the front of the grid. This is a long-term project that I really believe in and want to play a key role in, which is why I have signed a multi-year contract. The journey will take time, but I am confident we are building the right team to move forward and achieve great things in the years to come. And then team principal James Vowles added that Albon has exceptional talent, technical input and dedication to the cause, and that this is a huge vote of confidence in Williams. Sam, is it a huge vote of confidence in Williams?
I think this is by far a bigger compliment to Williams than it is for Alex Albon. I think with how their season has begun, they've taken a step backwards where James Vowles was adamant that whilst they would have been making leaps and bounds, they would be taking slow and steady steps forwards. They will be moving in the right direction. They clearly have not done that this season. The team is nowhere near as good as it was. They're not in the same positions. They were essentially where Haas were last season, and now they've almost swapped over. So Haas are now the ones picking up the usual 9th or 10th place, which Albon was regularly doing last season, and did a great job of outdriving that car. Essentially what Hulkenberg is doing now. And now this year, Albon might be driving for his absolute life, and that's what Vowles has said, that there's some world championship level drives in there. Whether you believe that or not, I leave that to you. But the best he's picking up is 12th, 13th, 14th. And that's, when he's not having an absolute shocker. If you watch our power rankings, he's not doing particularly well for his average rating. So the car is tricky to drive. It's not performing when it needs to. When Albon is having a good day out, it can't get any better than 12th or 13th place. And I think that the way that Albon has come out and said, I'm enjoying the project, I'm committed to it long term, I've got faith in where this is going. I don't know, Daddy Vowles must have really put something in his porridge, because that's incredibly complimentary after the first 7 races that we've seen so far this season. It's a nice, easy spot for Albon to be, because I do think he's genuinely better than where that Williams is at the moment. And it takes a smart guy to sit down and go, I want to build a project around me. I want to be the lead driver. I want to be who we build this car up. And he's got to have some faith in that long-term direction. They made some big signings recently, of course, with Pat Fry coming in. That's a great signing for them. James Vowles is at the helm. We trust him. The investment is finally coming in. So all signs do point to success in the future. But as we've seen from this season, they can't always deliver. It's not a guarantee. And if this goes backwards again for the next season, then Alex Albon might have been committed to a 3-year deal potentially in a car that's never better than 16th place. Not a good look for a guy that was once racing at Red Bull and had the chance to potentially be a race winner. Obviously, fluffed his lines there. So Albon, great driver. Probably top 10 overall in terms of where he sits on the grid at the moment. But he's driving a car that is arguably maybe the second slowest on average here. And I do think putting that faith in is a big commitment, because I'm not sure Williams right now have earned that level of dedication for 2 or 3 years in the future. But good for them, because they've struggled with drivers for a long time. It's about time that someone who is young, who's got talent, is committed to Williams. They've had too many loanees and too many paid drivers. And hey, this is a good step forward for them in the most recent future. Past, whatever. You get it.
One of the two. We'll go with past. Harry, what do you think in terms of the move for both parties? Like, is this great for Williams and for Albon? What do you think?
I'll tell you what, if James Vowles worked in a marketplace, he wouldn't be selling food. He wouldn't be like a fishmonger or a butcher or a greengrocer. He'd be selling dreams.
I knew he was going to say it. Love it.
Yeah, I mean, fair play to James Vowles here, because I'm not saying Alex Albon had a load of other options on the table here, but to sign him up for quite so long and commit him, he clearly has sold the dream about Williams, or has shown Alex and his management that there are bigger things to come. And I'd trust James Vowles. In James Vowles we trust. I think he could do it. So. Yeah, for Albon, I know it goes back to what we say about drivers maybe having a little bit more self worth about themselves, and not signing up for too long, signing contracts too long. But I can understand it for Albon. This could be, where else is he going to go
Do
aren't many
you
options.
think the market could have opened up next year, say, or
It could have done, and maybe he'll regret that. And given how volatile the driver market has been as of late, the past couple of years have been pretty insane. Maybe he will regret it, but it won't be like that forever. So yeah, there's pros and cons to it for Albon. For Williams, it's a great, as you say, Sam, it's a great steal here because they've had not a merry-go-round of drivers, but they've had a few drivers come and go. I mean, George Russell was there for a few years, but he was never staying, was he? And his teammates were few and far between. Great. So yeah, for Williams, this is great news, and they can build for both parties. They can build this around each other. Like this can be Alex Albon's team, and for Williams, they can build this car around Albon. So overall positive. Again, I think it goes back to the same thing we said before about drivers signing up for too long, but I can understand it. Also, when the quote about his dedication to the cause just makes you think of the greater good.
The greater good. I mean, when the guy scored 31 points of the 32 that Williams have had since 2022, as Williams, you can't be letting that go, right? That is like a golden goose. That will be a shocker if they let that go, especially when the other half of the garage is Logan Sargent. You don't want to put your faith on that side.
no luck catching them Red Bulls then?
Very good.
Sorry, very, very niche hot fuzz joke.
Just the one Red Bull, actually.
Oh, that's stingingly true.
Who would have thought the parallels between Hot Fuzz and Red Bull was so accurate?
What have we stepped across here? For Williams, no brainer, 100% great move for them. You've both already alluded to the fact that Williams have consistently struggled with their driver lineup over the last, say, 7 years or so. Since the start of 2017, Williams has, as a team, scored 67 points. Alex Albon has 31 of them. So, given that he's got nearly 50% of the points that Williams have secured, despite not being there for over half the amount of time that I've just said, yeah, they're going to want to sign him up for as long as they possibly can. I mean, just look at the drivers they've had, again, since 2017. So, Nicholas Latifi, Logan Sargent, and Robert Kubica all either were or are the worst driver in the sport. You've got Stroll and Sorokin, who were comfortably below par. You've got George Russell, who you rightly say was good, but he was always on a low move. You really do have to go back to a past his prime, Felipe Massa, or Valtteri Bottas for the last time that Williams can say, this is a good driver who is racing for us and he is ours. So absolutely signing up Alex Albon for multiple years makes sense. And the optics are great because regardless of the way it came to be, the optics are the same. So the more cynical part of me would say that if Red Bull came knocking or if Mercedes was an option or something along those lines, Alex Albon might well have gone. And actually this news might just be confirmation that that was never going to happen. But to be honest, even if he is dedicating himself to Williams with those as possibilities or without them, what it says to engineers, drivers, important people within F1 who might be considering going to Williams, some, as you've already mentioned, have already done so, like Pat Fry, it's a great message for those sorts of people to say, look, even in spite of the lack of results so far this year, I still know that we're going in the right direction. I still know that we've got something great going on here. And look, from Alex Albon's perspective, I can, same as what you said really, Harry, I can understand it. Maybe I would have just waited a little bit longer, but yeah, he could have waited it out until next year before doing anything. The fact that he hasn't is a great message for Williams, and it's a great message for anyone thinking of joining them. Should we do some bold predictions? Oh wait, that's on me.
Oh, good. The technical music's come out, folks. He hasn't found the jingle.
That transition, though.
I've heard you've got a gig at the club after this, Ben, with those transitions.
Yeah, I've got to go. We've got to keep this one quite short because my shift starts at 9. So, Bold predictions. They haven't gone particularly well so far this year. The abacus is collecting dust. Sam, what have you got to change that?
Potter.
Oh, God.
I'm going for 2 red flags across the weekend, and Lando Norris will win.
2 red flags across the weekend and Lando Norris. I feel like
Feasible.
one of those is going to happen. And
Not the other one, though.
Yeah. Harry, what about you?
I've gone for. So normally, at the F1, the way it is, often teammates are next to each other on the grid, or the teams tend to go sort of 2 by 2.
Hurrah.
But I'm saying that in the top 10, there'll be no teammates next to each, as there'll be no teammates next to each other. So there'll be different car.
In the
I
race.
have to remember this.
In the race. Sorry,
In the race,
in the race. Yeah.
Sorry, hang on. Race finish position or race start position?
Finish.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, that could happen.
I just feel like in Monaco, if anywhere, it'd be Monaco, given its driver rather than car around here.
I mean, you're predicting essentially the top 10 in a certain way, so I think it's quite bold.
Yeah. My bold prediction. Can you see someone in the kitchen?
Oh,
It looks like
someone cooking something up.
I think Esteban Ocon's cooking something over there.
Oh god!
Here we go.
There are no straights at Monaco, Alpine. You cannot fail. Esteban Ocon will be in the top 8 in the Grand Prix.
Whoo! Sheesh!
Come on, man.
I love that. That's a good trio of predictions.
He's gonna nail qualifying again, and he's gonna park the bus for 78 laps.
He's trading in Lewarmo's tank for Lewarmo's
La bus.
Typhoon to fly around the track.
Can't wait to be wrong again. Pole 1, 2, 3. Harry, what have you got?
Pole position. I'm going for hometown hero, Monaco.
Very good.
Charles Leclerc. The winners also go to that dear Monegas driver. Second place will be Max Verstappen, and third will be Lando Norris.
I've got the same people in a different order. I've got Verstappen on pole, Verstappen to take the win, Charles Leclerc in second, Lando Norris in third. Sam?
I've got Monty Lecalo on pole position.
What was that?
Yep, good. It works. And then for the win, Lando. Second place for Verstappen. Third, Charles.
Chonti.
At first, I thought you were going to go with something along the lines of Chantony Nogues, let Anthony Nogues, or something like that. So it could have been worse.
I think we've done that one. I think we've done that a couple of years ago.
That sounds like something we'd have done.
That's how long that joke's been.
Chaskas Laraskas.
Yeah, that's been done.
That'd be
Excellent.
Before we go to break, it's Harry's favourite topic. It's F1 Fantasy Update time.
Woo! Let's go again.
We've still got people pouring into the league, so thank you to everyone who has already joined. And if you do want to join, you're not part of the league already, you can do. The link is in the description. I think we've got about 1,350 teams or something along those lines. So thank you to all of you. Sam, you made some progress this week. You're up into 274th.
That's a great position. Everyone should be in that position.
I also improved, and I've caught you a little bit, but you've still got a big enough gap. 363rd.
You look good there.
Thank you. And speaking of progress, Kirsty's made some progress this week. 562nd.
Big up.
Harry.
How far are we going down, mate?
You're 1,281st.
People have joined in the last Grand Prix and they're ahead of you.
I'm certain on the basis of probability that this will turn around for me at some point.
You have proven in our 8 years of doing content for late breaking that isn't a thing. Unless it's a really long-term thing.
How are you this bad?
I just keep forgetting to change my team. And the one time I did change my team, it was the one-off change. So...
I've got a piece of advice for you, Harry.
Yeah.
We go again.
We go. again.
You got 16
What's that?
more tries.
What's that in Italian, Sam? Do you still remember?
No.
Oh, is it Andiamo Nuovo or something like
Yeah,
that?
something like that. That's not far off, I don't think. Hold on. I've got the translator here. Andiamo di nuovo.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Well done.
Harry spent some time in Italy.
I've been Duolingoing.
Every time Harry goes on the rapids, he goes back up the stairs. Andiamo di nuovo. We go again.
Many thanks as always to Beef for running the league for us in our Discord. So she's 327th. So between myself and Sam at the moment.
Fantasy Beef.
To give top three, to give the top three overall in the league, it's still Sweet Papayas in first place, 1,918 points. Second place is Papa Toto's Pumpernickel. And then third place is Team Austrian Anthem. The top score for the week, we haven't always said who's got the top score for the week because the last few times it's just been like 40 people who have shared that honour. This time around it was just one person, so we can say it. Little Numbers 1. Well done.
If you like sweet papayas.
And we are going to our second break.
I'll sing us out.
Under pressure right after this. Okay, everyone, welcome back. It's time for Under Pressure. We have, as always, got Discord submissions coming up very shortly, but we're going to give our own submissions for who or what is under pressure. Sam, kick us off.
Yeah, I'm going with Carlos Sainz. The car is upgraded. We're at Charles Leclerc's home GP. Freddie Vass, is kind of taking steps with that Ferrari. He's got to put himself back on the advertisement board of, hey, I'm still as good as I was at the start of the season. I'm not going to let you down. Go out there and beat your teammate. Go out there and make a statement. Here's a track to go and do it. So I think Sainz needs a bit of a wing. He's had a couple of off Grand Prix. So step it back up, son.
Harry?
This is a weird one because he's driven well this year. But I'm going Oscar Piastri, and mainly because not through all his own fault, but he just needs to convert the great pace he has and has shown into a result that reflects it. Because the past couple of races, it's not happened for him. And again, Miami didn't have all the upgrades, and he got savaged by Carlos Sainz in the final corner there. Imola, he obviously had the penalty, which can say is the team's fault, but also he's on the car. So going Oscar Piastri, deliver on the great pace that we know you have.
We're on the same wavelength. I've got Oscar Piastri as well. At the moment, he's got no podiums this year, and his teammate has a win and 4 podiums, which in itself needs to change. But in the Drivers' Championship, and again, it's not all his own fault, but you've kind of got two groups of competing drivers at the moment. You've got Leclerc, Sainz, Perez, and Norris is one group, and then you've got Alonso, Russell, and Hamilton is a second group. At the moment, Piastri is in the wrong group. He is, albeit leading, but he is in that second group rather than the first group. He's 40 points behind Carlos Sainz at the moment. And in fact, he is currently, Oscar Piastri, closer to Yuki Tsunoda in the Drivers' Championship than he is to Carlos Sainz. So again, he seems to have good pace last couple of Grand Prix, but he just needs to start converting some of those into results. So where better to start than Monaco?
He's such a sweet boy.
Thanks, Sam.
Good.
As promised, we do have Discord submissions as well. We had a lot of submissions for this one, actually, and it was very difficult to pick some out. So there were some great submissions that haven't made it, but thank you, as always, to all of you that submitted. And if you want to get involved next time out, of course you can do. Just get in the Discord. We're going to start with Like Me or Not.
I don't.
Good afternoon, guys. Coming to you from sunny and hot Ohio in the United States. I have to say, under pressure this weekend, Fernando Alonso, no question. Last time out in Monaco, he was, 800ths away from pole? And, well, we see how his last 2 races went. I think it's going to be ultimately not Aston Martin, but Fernando Alonso under pressure.
It's a fair point. Last time we were in Monaco and he nearly claimed victory and didn't, we were like, it's all right. Be one round the corner. When's that coming then?
Yeah, you'll miss that one if it never comes about again.
got Project Santos up next.
Hey everyone, Project Santos here with my Under Pressure submission of the week. Who is under pressure this week? 2 places. 1, Monaco. That's right. You're getting boring. Your cars are too big. The streets are not wide enough. It is boring. It's a snoozer. Who is really, really under pressure? Lando. Come on. You got 1 win. You almost got your 2nd one. Come on, buddy. You can do this. We believe in you. Bye, everyone.
Love that. I feel like I can imagine Project Santos turning up to Monaco being like, "You're done. You're done.
Bye-bye.
You're done. Bye-bye now."
I like converting under pressure into just like words of encouragement. Like that's the new segment based on that submission. Stick figure is up next.
It'll be under pressure this week's got to be the safety car, virtual safety car team. They're supposed to have a 100% probability of happening last week, and they were flopping on that. So need to come back better and stronger than ever in Monaco. Thanks for the podcast. Everyone join the Patreon. Love being everyone's favorite medium time, now maybe long time listener. Thanks.
Ooh,
Somewhere in the middle.
medium to long time listeners.
That's what we love. Let's go to Ninra next.
What's up, y'all? Ninra here. Under pressure for Monaco. Spicy signs. Had a fire in the beginning of the season, but where'd that go? Still gotta get yourself a drive, man. Keep advertising yourself. Maybe beat Leclerc once in a while. Anyway, love the podcast, guys. Thank you.
Spicy signs.
Yep, thinking the same way as you, Sam. Next up on the list, I've actually just a bit of behind the scenes here. I've loaded all these to the soundboard, but there's a character limit. So on the soundboard, I've put MDCH, which of course stands for Mojo Dojo Casa House.
Sublime.
Hola, late breakers. This is getting a little bit easier. This is Mojo Dojo Casa House from Mr. Chunky's home country, and no, Sam, it's not Argentina. My under pressure this time is the obvious one, the homeboy Charles Le Monacos, and what is Ferrari going to do to mess him up? Thanks for the love. Love you guys. Keep breaking late.
Oh, I love Peru.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Amazing submission. Thank you so much. Bit of beef.
Hello, hope you're well. Feels like just yesterday since I spoke to you. Oh wait, it's 'cause it is.
Right.
I don't really have a life update for you. Oh, I'm going to Alton Towers. That's very exciting. Can't wait. Woo! Under pressure, Alpine, because there's no big long straights here. So you shouldn't actually be that bad. Pretty sure that's how it works. Okay, bye.
Oblivion beef. To ride out in towers if you've ever been, or you're not from the UK.
Oblivion beef.
Yeah, that might be the best one yet. Let's go to Seb.
Buongiorno. I am back. I took a hiatus after the Mrs. Seb decided that she doesn't want to be Mrs. Seb anymore. So he back for me under pressure. And it's the Spanish bull, Alonso, who either now decides that he doesn't care about racing, doesn't like the colour green, or is just old. So, yeah, pull your finger out, mate.
Hope you're okay, Seb.
Single Seb's going to be a menace.
I do continually hypothesize over what the issue is with Alonso at the moment. Is it his age, or is it that he doesn't like the colour green? It's very difficult to know.
Yeah.
Famously, it makes you slow if you don't like the colour green. That's why we chose it.
True. Very true. We're going to finish off submissions with Aaron.
All right, dude. Newcastle UK here with my
Oi,
first
aye.
submission. So my under pressure's got to be Ferrari. With the new upgrades, the driver said that it was going to completely remove the gap between them and Red Bull. And all I have to say since Imola is, as in the words of Sam Sage, show me the evidence. Because let's be honest, the gap's still there a bit, even though they've caught up to McLaren. But let's hope for a bit more at Monaco Le Monaco's home race.
Away, man, up the two.
Was that Ant or Deck?
Oh, God. It was
Don't you-
actually Cheryl Cole.
Oh, was it? Oh, right.
Good.
She got cold.
Thank
I
you,
love
everyone.
I love you, Newcastle.
Appreciate all the submissions as always. Let's get on to some more news. Andretti Global have made a massive move in hiring Pat Simmons, the man behind Formula One's 2026 technical regulations. Simmons has been working for F1 as its chief technical officer and will now join Andretti after a period of gardening leave. Simmons has a long history in the sport and has developed championship-winning cars for the likes of Michael Schumacher and Fernando Alonso. Michael Andretti had the following to say: "We couldn't be more excited to welcome Pat to the Andretti family. Pat's keen understanding of aerodynamics, vehicle dynamics, and Formula One power units will be instrumental as we continue to build a competitive team. I believe his expertise has been pivotal in shaping the narrative of Formula One, and his vote of confidence in joining our efforts speaks volumes. I'm really happy with this next step as our work continues at pace." Harry, how big of a coup is this?
This is a lot of banter. Love this. Love this from Andretti. You don't want us in your sport? We'll steal your staff. See you later. Yeah, it's a big old coup. Pat Simmons, he knows what he's talking about, doesn't he?
Been around.
He's been around. Yeah, this is a massive coup, and an experienced head like Pat Simmons, and as much as we all know that Andretti will/can do a good job in F1, they've never been in F1 before, so you still gotta hire the right people. And Pat Simmons is a good start, especially given his success within F1 anyway, with Renault and Benetton back in the day. But he then was working for F1, like actual F1, so he knows it. He knows it back to front. This is a good coup for Andretti from a technical point of view, but from just a marketing point of view, it's excellent. I like this a lot, and I didn't see the fact that he'd gone to Andretti until later in the day. I'd seen that he was leaving me F1, and I was like, oh, that's fair enough. And it said he'd gone on gardening leave. I was like, bit weird, but fair enough. But he's probably just retiring. But then I saw why. Whoever is doing the hiring in Andretti, excellent job.
I bet it's James Vowles because he sells dreams.
He does.
I don't think that would make much sense.
I don't say anything that makes sense.
Valid.
Well, speaking of, Sam, what do you think?
What? The gossip is dripping with juice today, isn't it? It was delightful to see this one sizzling on the old grill. Loved that, cooking up a storm around Andretti. We can't beat the rules. We can't get in through the rules, so we're just going to buy the rules. Basically, they've gone, we'll have the bloke that made them. All the technical regulations will go, you know what? We're going to have him over here. You come over here, technical regulations. You come sit in our office, because that's what they've done. They've got the chief technical officer to come out from the FIA, who's drummed up all the new build-ups, all the new designs, and they've gone, this is our design now. I am the captain. This is our design.
Gosh, that reference has made a comeback very soon after the last
We love
time.
it. We love it. I can feel with
It's
watching
getting a
the
good
film
run
again,
out.
actually.
Captain Phillips getting a big representation here.
that quote is the captain now. I mean, he's not had endless success, but he's an incredibly smart man, and he's been trusted by Formula One and the FIA to come up with those regulations and delivered them pretty well. And what more do you want other than the guy who has created where Formula One's design has been over the last few seasons? So the gardening leave suits them. It's a great statement of intent from Andretti to go out and grab someone like this. The only thing I would advise to Andretti moving forward is whoever you hire next, do not let it be Nelson Piquet Jr. Whatever it's going to be, not him.
Yeah, I mean, Pat Simmons has had a lot of success in F1. That Renault in 2008 was not very good, yet he masterminded that Singapore Grand Prix victory.
Okay, I'll move on. Do your research if you don't know what we're wrong about.
Oh, no.
No, legal, no.
How's that lifetime ban from F1 going for Flavio Briatore, by the way? That no one talks about.
Talks about.
Sure. This is a massive move. It's difficult to state just how massive this move is because it makes a lot of sense as well. Like Simmons has been the chief technical officer at Formula One itself, but he's now joining as a consultant. And I feel like, and I am just hypothesizing here, but Simmons is 70 years old now. So I feel like a life as a consultant might well serve him better in the next few years than a full-on chief technical officer. And if Andretti are willing to probably pay him quite a lot of money to do maybe not less work, but maybe more flexible work as a consultant, it's probably working quite well for Simmons, and it works very well for Andretti as well. It adds so much credibility to their cause, right? The whole reason that late last year F1 decided you can't come in was we don't think you're going to be a competitive outfit. So Andretti have turned around and said, okay, no problem. We'll just take the person that created the rules. Your move, F1. What do you want to do now? They really have like just the whole plan of just acting like you have been accepted even though you haven't is so much banter. And honestly, if I just have one thing to say to Andretti, Michael Andretti, one more thing I'd like you to do. Sign 2 drivers. Just do it. Sign 2 drivers to race for your team. Because it'd just be really funny. Especially if it's someone who's on the current grid. But yeah, I mean, they are pressing on at pace, as Michael Andretti said.
Andretti, F1 are over there playing chess in the park, but you turn around and Andretti's built an entire house. That's the difference between the games that they're playing right now.
Pretty much. Harry, do you think that the legitimacy of this move, do you think it is almost, will it be the thing that was needed to finally get this whole thing over the line? Like, is this the tipping point, or does more need to happen before F1 are going to say yes?
I think more needs to happen, but I think this could be the start of it, because employing someone from F1, the people who are saying no, you can't come in, is a bit of a it's a statement of intent from Andretti once again, but it's also a sign that the people within F1 that are saying no to this, well, they're not all saying no, because one of them has left to go to the team that they're saying no to. So it weakens F1's position, because it looks like, well, if someone as senior as Pat Simmons is willing to leave, then how many other people are there within F1 that actually don't agree with what's being done here? So I'm not saying this is it's just this going to push over the line, but I think this could be the start of it.
Somewhat unrelated and not something we'll talk about today in depth. Might well be a Patreon topic coming up soon. But if you'd like Andretti to be competitive, and that's the issue, how about you give them the money that you're going to give Ferrari in the Concord agreement as a bonus payment for just being there? I don't know. Just if you're that worried about them being competitive, they can have that money. I don't know.
Get out of here with your logic, Ben.
Yeah,
we don't do that round
less
here.
of that.
Come on.
Do you think that, Sam, this will have any impact on their overall bid? Do you think that this will trigger something to happen, or is this still going to be a court battle going into next year?
I mean, Andretti have jumped through every hoop. They've moved mountains. They've built factories. They've employed staff. They've stolen key staff members. They've bent every rule going. They've literally achieved everything that's ever been set out to them. And I applaud them endlessly, and I would let them in now. I will happily open the gate and walk them straight onto the grid. No problems asked for me. The issue is they can keep doing this over and over and over again. They can keep meeting all the criteria. But because F1 basically governs itself, they can turn around and go, no. And they just can keep saying, no, because they want to. Because apparently the rules they set out in previous Concord agreements, they don't need to be followed. They don't need to be met, because it can be someone's opinion to go, don't think you qualify for this bit, actually. And there's no tangible way of doing it. So that's why Congress have got involved. That's why it's going to court. I do think it's bordering on anti-competition. I do think they're withholding their entry for literally no explained reason. I'm not sure what the reason behind it is, but other than current 10 F1 teams want the money they get and they don't want to share it out, there's ways to get around that as well. For me, F1 don't have a leg to stand on at this point. They've got absolutely nothing. There is every reason why this brand and General Motors should be a part of Formula One, and then not for no valid reason. So I think it will go to court. I think it will have to be taken to a legal proceedings. I can't see Andretti losing.
Okay, we're going to take our final break on this episode. On the other side, Show me the options.
Hooray!
Okay, everyone, welcome back. It's time for Show Me the Options.
Shut me my options!
God, it's vibey.
Many
Healthy.
thanks. Joe Murphy, thank you so much for sending us that jingle for us to use. Appreciating it was a little while ago, but what an absolute banger. Thank you. Show me the options. So I will ask Sam and Harry some questions. There are 6 questions as always. They'll take it in turns, and they have an option. They can either answer the question that I give them, and if they get it right, they get 2 points. But if they could use a few options to help them out, they can say those magic words, show me the options, at which point I give them 3 multiple choice options, and then if they get that right, they will get 1 point. So, Sam, what
Hello.
number would you like?
I'll have number 6, please, Ben.
Number 6. What were the Benetton team caught and reprimanded for in 1994?
Being very naughty boys.
It's not wrong.
I'll show me my options.
Your options are illegal tyres, fuel rig tampering, or an illegal gearbox.
I'm going to go with fuel rig tampering.
It was fuel rig tampering. They essentially didn't have a fuel filter, which meant that the fuel could get in the car about 12% faster than it otherwise would have been able to. So they could take advantage of quicker pit stops.
Oh, who was world champion that year?
Might be Michael Schumacher in the Benetton.
Max Verstappen almost was never born because of that fuel rig tampering. Because they tried to cook his dad.
I mean, yeah, there was
I'm
roasting
just trying
yachts.
to piece it together. It's like, oh, yes.
One of the most famous things in Formula One, that.
Yeah. I think that's how they got found out, because the FIA were like, that doesn't normally happen. Why is he on fire?
Set your driver on fire.
It should be clarified as well. They were investigated along with, I think, McLaren for some other things as well, but nothing else could be proven. But yes, they did get done for that, which means Sam gets 1 point for getting the question correctly after the options were presented. Harry, what number would you like?
Number 5, please.
You're right this early on. Five's a good number here.
I already forgot what Sam said.
He said 6. Which world champion, drivers' world champion, had the fewest career wins?
Show me my options, please, Ben.
Your options are Mike Hawthorne, Denny Hulme, or John Surtees.
Mike Hawthorne.
Mike Hawthorne is the correct answer. Well done.
Thank you so much. How many did he have?
I didn't write it down, but I think it was probably about 5, I would guess.
Probably about 5.
Okay.
That's what we do around here. Probably about.
Washed Hawthorne.
I promise it's right, but I haven't written it down. So that's 5 and 6 done. We're at 1-1. Sam, what number would you like?
I'll have number 1, please.
Number 1. Who was the only non-British winner in the 1965 season?
Show me my options.
Your 3 options are Jack Brabham, Niki Lauda, and Richie Ginther.
Sorry, who was the last one? I was too busy doing it.
Richie Ginther was the last one.
Oh, right. The first one.
Jack Brabham.
Yeah, I forgot who it was.
It's Richie Ginther.
Brabham?
Oh, bloody Richie Ginther. What's he like?
Classic Richie.
It's a race winner. That's what he's like.
Right, so we stay at 1-1. Back to you, Harry.
Number 1.
That was number 1.
For
Damn
God's
it.
sake.
Number 2.
There, you can have that one. Who substituted for Michael Schumacher in the 1999 season?
Oh, he knows this.
Mika Salo.
It was indeed Mika Salo. Well done. Which means that we now go to 3-1. Back to you, Sam. Would you like number 3 or 4?
I'll pick number 3, my lord.
Who is the only driver other than Lewis Hamilton and Juan Manuel Fangio to win the Drivers' Championship in year 2 of their career?
2. Oh, I feel like I know this, but actually I don't. So show me my options, Ben.
Your options are Damon Hill,
Right.
Alain Prost, and Jacques Villeneuve.
Oh, was it Jackie V?
It was Jackie V. Yes.
Come
on. Made his debut in 96, won the championship in 97. Which means we're at 3-2 to Harry, which means the win is locked already. You have number 4 and number 4, Harry.
Get a minus answer, mate.
Okay, for number 4, please.
That would be impressive. Who created the Brabham BT6 fan car?
Gordon Murray.
It was indeed Gordon Murray. Well done.
Big
Very
Gord.
good.
Very impressive. Means you get the win, and your reward is the theme again.
Show me my options.
Yay!
Certified.
Honestly,
Banger.
honestly, is that your first track at the club later?
Oh, yes, actually. Oh, I've got to go. Yeah, we've only got 15 minutes. Which leaves, to be honest, I can't even claim that this is going to be better than that because that was so good. Nah, I'm just kidding. It's the greatest segment in all of Formula One podcasting. It is the
LB question of the week.
Harry, your intro to it last week pained me. Although you did,
Why?
I don't know. You did upgrade it from just being the greatest segment in all of Formula One podcasting to the greatest segment in podcasting, which I appreciated. I might take that forward.
Well, it is. So I don't know what's painful about that, my guy.
Yeah, it's a fair point, actually.
Just spitting facts over here.
Right, question of the week was... Oh, there we go. I forgot you hadn't done that. Question of the week. What would you do to make the Monaco Grand Prix more exciting? I feel like we had a really good mix, a lot of answers again, but a good mix of some serious suggestions, but also some usual stupid ones. Sam, what do you think?
Honestly, I was about exactly the same thing. People like Benny here said mandatory to use all 3 compounds unless wet. Genuinely sensible, might be fun, could be interesting. Equally, you've got a rather silly one here from Daniel Lapotta, who says, everyone at Gargan leaves you come out watering the track at Portier. Okay, love that with their watering cans. Sounds like a lot of fun. One of our favourite men, Mike, he came along and said, have the wall spontaneously combust like in Shanghai. That also would be terrifying, but fun. So, loads of great ones. Boys, any that stood out for you?
Yeah, one that really made me laugh was from History Buff on Instagram that just said, I'm afraid to make this one about Altmar's 9 children.
Yeah.
Which was excellent work.
There was actually one on Twitter, I think it was, from Eddie about Otmar's 9 kids that made me laugh, which was Otmar's 9 kids disguised as cones randomly on the track.
You know that trend? It's like, is it cake or not? Yeah. And you cut into it. If it's a cake, drive into it and see if it's a child.
Maybe not.
Oh, sorry to the kids that don't exist.
Goodness me. Hunter Erratic said during the race Barry Manilow holds a concert in front of the casino.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm there.
I'll be there for that.
Stephen Field just say hot dog eating competition. Who knows when or where or why, but I'm up for it.
That's quite a big annual thing, I think, in the US. There's a hot dog eating contest, isn't there?
Maybe we should do it when we maybe next venture to America.
Sorry.
Oh, Harry, what have you seen?
This is from got some really long name. Wayland Danger Jennings. a relay race between Otmar's 9 children and Barry Manilow by himself. What? That's ridiculous.
Doesn't make any sense.
Over to you, Barry. Oh, thanks,
Go on,
Barry.
Barry Manger go. Barry Manger slow.
A couple more from Twitter. Big Red Dog NFFC. Reverse grid, 2 sprint races, night race, and then Tim Apple waving the flag, which, I mean, that's everything there for a great race. Adam also on Twitter. Top 10 qualify for the race. The other 10 have to throw water balloons on the track in the Grand Prix.
Yes.
I'd pay to see that. A few others that I liked on Instagram. So I think this one got quite a lot of likes, and rightly so, from JD Chapman, which was K-Mag does the circuit backwards without the threat of points on his license, which I think would be exciting. Sky also on Instagram. Make the Indy 500 inside the Monaco Grand Prix. So once they're going through the swimming pool chicane, Indy Turn 4 is going the other way. Sure, that'll work.
Goodness
I want
me.
to stand in the middle.
There was one here from Stephen Chris who says, cook up some girthy sausages and throw them on the track.
All right, I'm putting a ban in place. That will be the last time the word girthy is ever used on this show.
The show is girthy.
Oh, goodness me. Some meaty sausages there.
That's enough. I think we should end on girthy.
I really don't think we should, but all right.
Get out a t-shirt.
Oh, it's not ideal.
This has been utterly unhinged. And the good thing is, we're back for some more episodes at the weekend, Sam.
We are. We're going to be doing a qualifying review, and we'll be here for the full race review. Hopefully, it's an absolute corker, and we see some real girth on display. Thanks for listening. Do subscribe to Patreon.
We don't.
We
I
do.
really hope we don't.
There's loads of girth on Patreon as well. So if you love
There is not. There is absolutely not.
We've tipped him over the edge. Well done, everyone. Thanks for listening. If you don't want to subscribe, no worries. Just stay around for the normal stuff. We love you here anyway. Follow us on social media, Late Breaking F1.
This is the normal stuff.
Imagine what you get when you pay. It's good fun. Discord, links in the description. If you want to send us stuff, we have a PO box. We've got a video about, it's editing. It's in editing. So those who have sent us stuff, thank you. And we're going to love you and leave you. In the meantime, I've been Samuel Sage.
I've been Ben Hocking.
And I've been a big girthy sausage.
Shut up. Keep breaking late.
I thought Sergio Pace was getting a mention.
It was until the end there. I swear to God it was lined up.